What's up YouTube? Dougie Chong here. Welcome to today's episode where I'll be comparing investing in stocks versus real estate. In this video, I'm going to give my personal experience with investing in real estate. I'm going to look over some numbers, including some pros and cons of investing in real estate versus stocks. And then I'm going to give my opinion on whether I like investing in stocks versus real estate. But a little disclaimer to start the video, I'm not a real estate agent, nor am I a financial advisor. These are just my opinions and experiences that I'd like to share with you guys. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe if this video helps you at all. I know that getting into real estate investing can be a daunting task. So to start the personal experience side of things, I'll mention that I am looking at buying a rental property here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I started looking in January, the market was slowing down, but then in February, it really picked up. It was one of the hottest Februaries in recorded history. And then this whole health crisis thing really got serious and the market started slowing down. It's actually a really crazy, hectic process that everyone talks about. I was looking at buying a condo in downtown Toronto. People bid 1 to 200k over asking, and condos frequently sell within like 1 or 2 days of being listed. The one offer I did place was for a condo listed for about $500,000. I think I was willing to go as high as $570,000, and then it sold ultimately I think for $650,000. I think eventually I'll make that whole experience into its own video, but now let's get into the pros and cons of investing in stocks versus real estate. Alright, I'll start with the pros of trading stocks. First of all, it's very easy to start. Secondly, you can do it from almost anywhere. And thirdly, it is a very liquid asset. I think most of you know this, but to start trading stocks, all you really need is a bank account or a brokerage firm, and then just maybe $100 or $200 to start trading stocks. You also need an internet connection, but I guess most people have that. That's a little different from in the past when you actually had to call your broker to place a trade. And then the second pro of being able to trade from anywhere really should not be overlooked. You can buy and sell stocks from a vacation home while skiing, anything really. But to buy real estate, most people will want to look at the property they are gonna buy. And then the third positive point is that stocks are a very liquid asset. This means it is very easy to buy and sell stocks. This happens because modern stock markets are very efficient. They're very good at matching up buyers and sellers, people that want to buy a stock or people that want to sell it. Alright, now let's get into the cons of buying stocks. The first con is that stocks are very volatile. The second con is that there's nothing physical, there's nothing tangible you own when you buy a stock. And then the third thing is that the stock price can go to zero. The first point of stock volatility is definitely illustrated with the whole health crisis that's going on. Stocks were plunging like 20% in just one day. And then there were other days when the price would just kind of skyrocket about 10%. So if this price action seesaw movement kind of makes you nervous, then maybe stock investing is not for you. It's important to note that while stocks are volatile in general, in the grand scheme of things over a long period of time, stocks will trend upwards. The second point of having something actually physical that correlates with that stock you own is something that's subjective and not too important to a lot of people. But for some people, this physical aspect is very important. They want to see what their money buys, they want to be able to physically touch it, see it, go into the house and see what they buy, not just a bunch of numbers in an account. And then the third con of stock investing is that the stock price can go to zero if the company goes bankrupt. A house price will typically not go to zero unless something like a hurricane knocks down the house completely. Alright, now I'll get into 4 main pros of real estate investing. The first pro is that housing is an essential need. Along with food and water, shelter is essential for living. Owning Ford stock, that's not really essential, but having a place to live, that is. You can go homeless, but that's not really an option. Everyone will either need to rent or own a property. The second pro of real estate investing is that knowing the location actually helps with your ability to assess the property value. I guess you could say knowing the industry for a stock would help you assess the stock's value, but it's really a little bit different. and real estate agents really make a lot of their money from knowing the property values of certain locations. The third positive with real estate investing is that the prices of real estate stay fairly consistent and generally rise over time. With the exception of the '08 housing crisis, the prices of houses have really not taken a huge dip recently. Even with the whole health crisis going on, prices are kind of going down, but not a huge amount. And the fourth benefit of investing in real estate is that in Canada, if you call it your primary residence, I think this applies in the US too, I'm not 100% sure of that, but if you call it a primary residence, that means you live in it, then you won't have to pay tax on the capital gains. Now I'll go over three main cons of investing in real estate. The first con is that it takes a large amount of capital to get started. Before, you could place a down payment on a pre-construction condo for about 5%. So for a $300K condo, that's about $15,000, which is very manageable. But nowadays, the minimum down payment is about 20%, and the minimum condo price is about $500,000. So that means to get started with real estate investing, you would need at least $100,000. That's a big difference for just like a 2 or 3 year time span. But also, in addition to this huge upfront down payment fee, you have to deal with lawyers, mortgage brokers, and real estate agents. The second point is that you will either have to rent out the property or renovate it to make money. Unlike stocks, which have a company that make money for you, you have to do the work to make sure your property makes money for you. You could hire a property manager, but unless you have a lot of properties, it's usually better to just take care of it yourself. And then the third con is that houses are very illiquid. I mentioned that the housing market is very hot in places like Toronto, but you can see that it's harder to move big ticket items. A stock you can buy and sell multiple times within a day. A house, you would never be able to do that. Just to close it, open it, get a lawyer involved would take at least a week to set up. Alright, now that I've looked over some of the pros and cons of real estate investing and stock investing, I'm going to look at some of the charts for real estate investing. So looking at a graph from Zolo.ca, it shows that the average price across all properties has been going down slowly. This is more to be expected, and they have some numbers to back it up. They say the average house price was $977,000 in March and only $940,000 in April. I watch this website fairly often, and I saw it drop as low as $913,000 about 2 weeks ago. So housing prices definitely have not dropped as much as stock prices have, but when I went over the pros and cons, that's to be expected because housing prices should be more consistent. Alright, now I'll go over my opinion on stock versus real estate investing. For me, I personally like stocks because I think they have the highest chance of outperforming the market. This is because a house is just a house, it rests on its laurels of being an essential need, whereas a company actually has to innovate, make products that consumers want and need. However, I do like having a diversified portfolio, so like I mentioned earlier, I am searching for a rental property investment. I don't understand people that go all in on real estate unless you're like a mortgage broker or a real estate agent and have some sort of edge. It's just as risky, if not more risky, than investing 100% in stocks. I say that it can be more risky because you will likely need to take out a mortgage, which means you are leveraged and you're actually buying more than you can afford. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and don't forget to subscribe if this video helped you at all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and see you in the next video.